Parkour! Extreme! Parkour! Parkour! This is Parkour, internet sensation of 2004, and it was in one of the Bond films, and it's pretty impressive. The goal is to get from point A to point B as creatively as possible. Thanks Jim, I'll take it from here. So I've never really tried my hand at That wasn't meant to happen. Parkour. Seriously? I've never really done parkour in Minecraft before. Is it obvious? Maybe by the end of today's video we'll be able to change that, because I would like to create my own parkour course. A parcourse, if you will. First things first, I gotta head into the Nether and set up a portal for where we're gonna be doing all of the building today. Don't worry, the course has not begun yet. It's going to be a bit more tricky than what we have here. Although going along at these speeds, I could very easily fall off. Anyway, we end up in this building here, which is actually the starting point for our course. So my idea for this is to create a bunch of different levels, all a little bit different from each other. Then they can come together to create the whole parkour course. And this is the first one. The cows are not staying. These jumps honestly shouldn't be too hard if you time them correctly. It's almost automatic. If you get it right, you can just hold down the spacebar. Let's give it a go here. So if I go all the way back and just go and jump, 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 jump. Okay, not like that. I'm now in with the cows. But this is why we have the water, because you swim all the way back to where you started and you try again. It's getting dark, so I need to nail it this time. Here we go. Jump, jump, jump over the cows, and we make it. Big one onto the hay bales to cushion our fall. So that is the first level complete. Other than I need to release these cows of their eternal suffering. Look away, everybody. This isn't gonna be pretty. Oh, that didn't feel good. I'm sorry, cow. The next part of the course is going to be taking place over the other side of the valley, which means I have to figure out a way to get over there. And I can't just do this. That kind of defeats the point. Well, ain't this just a lovely bridge? And honestly, it might be a little bit too lovely. This is meant to be the second level after all, and currently it's not that difficult to traverse. Now we must dilapidate this thing and see how it withstands the test of time. Much better. Sort of. I understand it now looks worse, but that's kind of intentional. But the main thing is it's slightly harder to cross. Not too difficult, probably one of the easier things we're going to build today, but it looks really cool, and honestly that's the main thing with the bridge here. Alright, the next step is to somehow get to the top of this tree. And I think I'm gonna go with ladders, doing something like this, the tricky corner ladder, which is one of the more difficult moves in parkour, or it always used to be, in my very limited knowledge. But there is something about hopping around a corner onto another ladder that just is really difficult, and honestly this may be the most difficult thing we now build today. I'll be honest, I don't know if this one's even possible, but I'm gonna try. Well, I'm not gonna try like that. I may switch ladders around a little bit at a later stage, but for now it serves the good purpose of a very tricky way to get to the top of this tree. So to get over the treetops here, we are gonna be using slime blocks. And I've set myself a bit of a rule for this level. Essentially, I'm only allowed to do a single jump, and that is to jump onto the slime block, so I just have to let the bounce carry me on over to the other tree. You can see if I do a second jump, I just go that little bit further. And it's super satisfying just letting the slime blocks carry you from one tree to the other. The only trouble is, in their current state, they don't look particularly good. Well, that is a little bit better, I think. It's pretty simple, just a slime block covered in trapdoors with a hopper underneath and then some glass panes kind of dotted around. It looks like some sort of flotation device. I'm not exactly sure what or how, but it looks a lot better. So the final jump now takes us smoothly down this ladder to the bottom of the tree, where we're going to be continuing the next level, which is going to be more slime blocks. This time using this sort of concept. but on floating islands, and essentially the idea is to hop up from one to the other. The idea is to hop up from one to another, making sure you aim exactly right, which is actually kind of difficult on a couple of them. I think the middle one's probably the hardest. This last one isn't too bad. And then, got to psych myself up here. We do a run and jump, and we go down the hole, which currently doesn't lead anywhere. But if we keep on digging all the way down, and then a little bit to the side, we eventually end up in a lush cave. I'm sure you can guess what we're going to be doing down here, well, we're trying to do anyway, using these drip leaves to make our own parkour course. All the way through this cave, which probably needs lighting up a little bit more. I don't feel awfully safe down here, until we get to roughly the end point over here, and we're going to go elsewhere. Things are a little bit safer around here now. I've built some barriers to section off the darker parts of the cave, and I've grown a couple more glowberry bushes where needed to light it up. We also have an official starting point too. Now all we have to do is plot a course. The only trouble is, I've got to test it at the same time, which is a little bit tricky because these drip leaves do not give you long to size up your jump. I can definitely tell this one is too big. Thankfully, it's pretty simple. I can just plant one and then grow it up to a good level. No word of a lie, this is really difficult. I've never really experimented with these leaves before, but they're hard to jump across. I've had to resort to doing pretty small gaps in between the leaves simply because I kept overshooting it or undershooting it just because they drop out from underneath you so quickly. But this might actually be my first clean... Oh, in the lava! No, that was close. As I was saying, I've managed to plot a course pretty much all the way to the end point, which is over here. So once I eventually get it done, we can drop down this hole here and dig in one direction. I think it's this one here. Eventually... Ooh, diamonds. We end up at the finishing point, my end portal. And that is what all of this has been leading to. A really, really tricky way for me to get to the end. But of course, we gotta finish strong, hold, so this entire room needs redecorating. In fact, it needs taking down entirely, being expanded, and a whole new room being built. So here we have my new end room and the very tricky way to get to the end portal. These end rods are not easy to jump on. Neither is this chain jump across the stone cutters. You have to get it just right to be able to make it across, and I am not particularly good at it, as you can see. Oh man, I really suck. Nope. There we go, that's how you do it. First time. And once you make it across there, of course, you gotta try and hop very carefully along the end rods in this spiral formation all the way around until you get to the center, which isn't too easy, but it's very, very easy to mess up. Especially if you try going quick, then it all kind of just falls apart. But yeah, this is our end tunnel and end room, which looks pretty good if I do say so myself. Oh, and I'll say, because I know some of you are probably thinking it, there's a good reason why this grey glass is here instead of black glass. We're trying to create the fog effect here. You can kind of see the central pillar go down and slowly fade away into nothingness. It would look a lot better with black, but I've retextured my black glass to look like this, which I like having that more so than a slightly better floor in one single room. So our course is essentially all finished. We're nearly ready for a full run around to see if we can complete the entire thing. But first, I need to build myself some checkpoints. There's no way I can do all of this without messing up one, so I need them to help me out a little bit. There we go. Let's just fill all of this in, and we have ourselves our checkpoint sound. Press this. Oh, that doesn't look right. Nah, whatever. We press this, and we get a lovely sound and a little firework. I've got all 5 checkpoints now set up in place, which means we are ready for a full run. The rules are simple. If I mess up on any of the levels, I go back to the start of that level. Not the very beginning. I would be here literally all day if that was the case, so one at a time maybe. But here we go. The first one should be one of the easiest. I've gotten pretty good at going across this the more and more I've built, and there we go. Nailed it. The bridge shouldn't be any trouble either. This is definitely the easiest of the levels. This jump is a little bit big, but generally pretty easy, mainly just for looks. Now here's where things get a little bit tricky. I've kept coming back to these ladders and I'm realizing I am not very good at them. There's some that are easier than others, but I find myself often just kind of doing this, going for the jump and not making it fully and coming back. Okay, this one's quite difficult. We need to sprint out and jump back on. Nice. We're nearly there, just a couple more. Okay, this one's quite tricky too. We gotta kind of hop around there, up here. Okay, last jump, then we're up the top. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Now, I really don't want to fall on the slime blocks because these are actually pretty easy. Oh, I nearly didn't make that. That was very close. But I got to remember the rules of I can't double jump. I can only jump once on the slime block and all the way over. And I'll just hop over to this final tree here. And the final jump, let's just size up where it is. Okay, we're aiming for that ladder afterwards. Please don't miss. Oh, took a little bit of fall damage. And again. But that's fine. We made it all the way down to our third checkpoint. We can press the buzzer. And we're ready for the next one. I think this level is definitely my favorite. It's just really satisfying doing the jumps, and the floating islands look super cool too. And I've gotten pretty good at it. So there we are. Now, this is kind of tricky. I've kind of made a rule for myself of I have to get cleanly down the hole. So if I hit the trapdoor, I got to go back to the start. So here we go. Oh, smooth as butter. Look at that. That is perfect. Now, to press this one, I kind of have to get out of the way. Otherwise, I'm going to shoot myself with a rocket, which isn't good. But there we go. That was nice. I enjoyed that one. The drip leaf parkour is not my strong suit. I've been practicing this a little bit. Oh, we got axolotl spawned in. That's cool. Hello, guys. I've been practicing a little bit, and I'm still not that good at it. I've gotten a lot better. But there are a couple of jumps here. One coming up that I always tend to miss. That's one of them. Back up the vines we go. Okay, here we go. We're coming up to it again. It is really surprising how little time you actually have, and it's very... Same jump. Third time. There we go. Oh, I got excited about making it. Okay, come on. Don't dilly-dally. Just jump. Keep jumping. Honestly, let's just go. Let's not stop. There's one final one here. That's really difficult. Here we go. Okay, let's do a run and... Oh, I missed it entirely. This is the one. I can feel it. Nope, missed it again. What if I skip this entirely? Just go like that. Okay, that's a good idea. Let's try that. Let's see if we can get a bit of a flow for the last part. Oh, there we... Oh, that's perfect. Oh, look at that. Right, don't mess up here. Oh, we made it. You guys probably didn't see half of those attempts. There was a lot. On to the final level. Okay, here we go. Let's take a big run up, and we just got to make it across the stone cutters first. Oh, man. This is going to stink. I'm going to be here a while. Oh, no, second try. Nice. Okay. Now, if I fall on the end rods, I am going to just allow myself to come back to this ladder here. I've set up 2 checkpoints. I should probably have a rocket, but it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to make life easy on myself because parkour is hard, and I'm not very good at it. But we're going to go around steadily and slowly, one jump at a time across these little end rods. The sprint ones make me a little bit nervous. The singular jumps aren't too bad. Oh, damn it. I really thought I was going to do it first time then. Okay, here we go. Is that the one I fell on? I can't really remember. We're close. We're close. Only 3 more to go. 3 more jumps. Here we go. Okay, this one goes up slightly. It's actually kind of difficult. I know I could just jump up there, but that's not the point. We got to get to this one. Oh, yes. We've done it. We made it. The parkour is complete. The final jump is back into the end portal. And I picked up all my items that fell through. Thanks. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing that, and it's fun to see it all come together to create one whole course. However, I don't think it's something I'm going to want to do all that often. Oh, I'm back at spawn. To save me going on this parkour adventure every single time I want to go to the end, I thought I should make myself a bit of a shortcut. This spot in the lake is directly above the end portal, so essentially what I'm doing here is laying out a caution taped square in the water that I can plummet all the way down to and fall directly into the end portal, which in the long run will save me a lot of time probably. Now I've still tried to make it a little bit difficult. You can see it kind of gradually goes inwards the further and further down you go, ending up in just a single 1x1 hole, which is waterlogged. I did originally have it going directly into the end portal, and then I found out through testing, thankfully, in a creative world, that full speed actually carries on through the end portal, so I just kind of exploded on the other side, which wouldn't be ideal. But now the idea is I come over like this, flying on down, and see if I can shoot myself right into the center like that. That was pretty good, honestly. I'm quite proud of myself. I didn't think it'd be that easy. And to get to the end, I can just open the trapdoor, close it, phase on through, and oh yeah, see, got a little bit of damage there, but 10 blocks is better than about 60. But there we go, everybody. That is going to do it for today's episode. I'm just doing another lap around my course here to make sure I can still do it. And I can do that part at least. But thank you everybody so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Ah, not quite. Good enough. See you next time, guys.